Crap. Hi, you. Ouch. Looks like as soon as I sat down, Mr. Holden Clawfield heard me talk before I started the live. That was his signal to come and say hi. Ow, ow. Your claw is in my thigh. You were by the gas heater down here, weren't you? All right. I don't know what I accidentally clicked, or I'll blame him. Uh, I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna experiment with a little more foam clay. Uh, I'm gonna do a form here. Let me get rid of this stuff. Let me pick up. Come on, you. Start off today's live. Oh, you knocked my microphone off my head again. Stop. What is it? Stop. Gotta, there we go. Uh, I'm gonna start off today's live with more Holden Clawfield. Could you quit showing your butt to the world? We're part of the world. All right. Hitting the microphone again. Taking my. You're you're gonna break these. So me I'm gonna share from. I'm gonna share a link to the live in a couple of spots, and then we'll go live. Let me put my microphone back down again. Although I think he's just gonna whack it out of whack again with his overly friendly self. Where are we at? There we go. So what was I saying? While I do this, see if I can uh, share and say stuff. So if you look at the table, I got a couple eyeballs. I did these yesterday. Back in the back there, if you can see it. I don't know if you can, because everything's out of whack now that Holden. Damn it! He knocked my microphone again. Um. Uh. Crap, Holden. um. I'm gonna do some clay, uh, plasticine type clay around the face and around the hands that I have, so I can start maybe doing a mold box tomorrow. I usually take Monday off from this. Monday night, I usually don't do anything, but we'll see. Um, I can't tell what I'm doing, Holden. I've been home all day. All right, try and. So we're gonna try and do a little bit of plasticine work around the head and these hands, so I can prep and then get a mold box together next week. Oh, you knocked that. Damn it, you nut. Uh, gonna monkey about with these eyes. Uh, and I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with these feet because that's gonna be a giant experiment. And then I have a little leaves that I want to do a little sculpture for that would nest inside like a little sleeping bag, uh, like a little face sleeping bag. I'm going to make a sculpture to go into there. I'll talk about that more later. Don't show people stuff. Come on, bud. You're not helping. Unless you're going to walk people through some. No. What have you done? Hi, James. Good afternoon. Holden and I are about to start doing some stuff after I share my link. Whenever he does this to me, Jen likes to say, "You wanted a cat that would be like this." 'Cause none of our other cats are really. One of them likes to be pet, but he doesn't like to be held, or he's not a lap cat. He wants to sit next to you and get pet. Same with the other one, really. This guy, this guy, he's pretty much in your face and forces his love upon you. Sometimes, if you're coming up the steps, if he's up high and coming down the steps, he'll leap at you, which can cause problems. He's been like this since he was adopted at the Cleveland APL. Hey, you're really slowing me down, mister. I'm gonna. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. See, you're messing. You're messing with me, bud. Here, let me try and get this done. And then I'm kicking your butt out of my lap for a little while until you force yourself back. Ah, done it again. Stop it. One more share. One more share. Then I have to decide what we're going to do first. We're going to do the sculpting last since we'll see if we get more people to join in before I start to sculpt. So I figure when I do lives, I'll kind of do some projects, uh, build stuff versus sculpting stuff. Uh, oops, wrong button. Oops, another wrong button. Here we go. All right, let me click on post and then minimize that and get back to our screen. There. All right. All right, mister. It's time for your butt to go down. I don't have any kids. I just have pets. I'm child free, which means I can, legally crate the animal. You can't legally crate a kid legally. All right, here. All right, ready, set. Oh boy. I bought a second one of these Columbia thingies, the holidays when somebody was deep discount because this used to be my primary, but it's nearly impossible to get all the cat hair and stuff out of it. So I bought one to wear with my other coat. Well, I was going to do this too. I found these while I was doing some cleaning on one of the other desks. One's a pin. Wait, no, clip. One's a clip. The other one's the pin. I was going to do face on them and then, you know, sell it or something on the page afterwards. We'll see. These are some feet I did. So I think my last live, I explained my frustration with this art doll and the E6000 really did not adhere the shoe. It popped out, man. I don't know if it's old E6000 that I had around or what, but so I went to my mold. I cut a little bit of a line in it so I could put this piece of wire into the mold, and then I did the pour so that this would be locked into it. In the next art doll, I was planning on uh, wrapping this wire around the leg, but this experiment happened before this happened. So part of me now wants to cut this or unwrap this and do the experiment now with this one. So I don't know. That's another future Steve to work through. We'll see. Put him out of the way. Last live, we did these wings and this face, and I put it all together yesterday. And I did a dry brush, and this is what the end was. Now, yesterday, I also, if you go to my Facebook page, excuse me, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see this guy. Well, actually, I could probably do it in live, although it's kind of short. Let's see here. We'll move that up toward the ceiling a little more. Let's see here. Ding. So the magnet lets you wear them under a shirt on your shoulder or up on your head. Let's try and put them on the shoulder of this thing. Like that. So he's a little familiar for an evil wizard. So I kind of finished this one. I might add some fur down here, because on the other one I left the wire exposed, and to hide the wire I covered it in fur. This time I thought I'd experiment with attaching it with more foam clay, and that kind of worked. It's going to lock the wings eventually. I probably only have another couple of weeks or a week of being able to do this with it. Eventually you're going to lock your position because the foam clay is going to completely harden. But, and then again, if you remember when I was filling the mold, which I'll go grab the other one in a moment, grab them in a moment. I cut all these lines in the back because it's just a one-part mold. It's just a push mold, so you push the material in and you take it out afterwards so that you get this. The back is just smooth, but I cut a little bit in with a sculpting tool. Same with this. All the scales. Wait, let me turn the light on. Ding! All the scales really kind of shrunk in. But magic. And then I painted the little stinger gold or bronze. I don't know which one this is. What is this? Bronze. This is really good metallic paints. I use these for all the dragons I do for Ravenwood Castle. Anywho, oop, did I knock him off? I think I knocked him off with my microphone. Where'd he go? Great, he's in my hand. I'm getting a cold. So anyway, we'll put him back up here. Oh, I know what fell. The magnet. That's why I felt like something fell off my shoulder. The magnet fell somewhere. Backwards. Where'd it go? Let's do a stand up and see if we find it. I don't know where it went.
I'll find it later. We'll put him out of the way. So, when I sculpted these yesterday, let's get that out of the way too. I was doing another experiment with assembling them, with making them so that I could make them a little quicker or easier, maybe easier versus quicker. It's not going to be, it's going to be like a multi-day process now. But so I sculpted around the cabochon eye, which is this, with the foam clay. Then I popped it into here to let it cure, harden, start to dry. Uh, so it would help keep the shape. Now I can sculpt the tail, and when I go to sculpt it onto here, it's not going to misshapen it. Is that a word? Misshapen? I know misshapen is. But so I did two of them just to see what would happen. And since I plopped them in here, it's got the roundness of the paint tray. Kind of works. We'll see. And then I did poke a couple of holes here. I'll show you with the mold for the wings here. Let's see. Jen has a really, really bad cold, and I thought I had dodged it, but I think it's kicking in. So here we go. I think these are the molds. Yeah, these are the molds that if I remember correctly, I showed how I pushed the foam clay in. And I have an armature wire here. So I would just now take this guy out, and you can see it's still damp because the air couldn't really get to it. Now if I leave this out, it'll start to finish the air dry. By tonight, it'll probably be matte looking like that. I'm not sure if you can tell the gloss. Yeah, you can see the gloss in there versus this is a really older leaf, probably a couple weeks old. So we got this guy. And we got this one. Just give it a little flex and then peel it out. This was a wing I had sculpted originally for this guy. So it did have a front and back. But when I did the mold thinking I was going to try a different way, I didn't do a double-sided mold. Most people are going to be seeing it and thinking it's cool from the front. But again, with this, I did also do a little sculpting on the back just to make it a little more than just perfectly smooth. I can also see the metal wire poke through right there. That had happened with this guy as well. But when I attached these, I patched a couple of spots on the back and the front where the metal wire was kind of poking through. So I'll just do that again. Maybe I should do it now, since that side's still damp. The other thing when you're working with this stuff, old and new, like how this is completely matte, I just have a little bit of water next to me, and I dip my finger in the water and then dampen all the spots I'm working on, and it helps the material bond to itself. I'm still getting used to kind of doing interesting stuff with this material. So just do that. I'm going to add that little other piece there. Let's see. little of this. And I'm just going to use the sculpting tool and hide that spot where the wire was poking through. And then if I want, I could add a little texture. This minute texture is probably going to mostly disappear as it dries and hardens and dries out and shrinks. So, but there we go. Should I monkey about with more foam clay? I'll give you a second and you can vote, James, since you're there. If you want me to attach these to the LOI. Otherwise, we're gonna take a hand. Oh, I just found the magnet. Ah, crap. Let's put that up there. Actually, we could put it on the bottom. That's funny. Here we go. What was I going to do? Oh, the other thing is I'm going to embed these guys in clay to prep to make a mold. Ooh, what's this? Paint. And then him also. This head is done. I'm going to put him in clay. So basically, put him in the bottom of a piece of clay and build up a mold around it. I think we're going to follow the bottom of the ear and go around here. I do have to unscrew him from the block, which I didn't really think of with monster clay. It's pretty easy to do that when it's polymer clay. But so I'm gonna just unscrew it from here. Normally I unscrew it from here because there's a wooden dowel inside there that do the hands. All right. We'll embed the hands in some clay and prepping for a mold. You can rest back there. Let's see here. All right. Well, same thing. Try and move these guys out of the way. And we'll put him back there. You back there. So, let's see here. Again, this is the sulfur-free clay. That will prevent the silicone from having a reaction. And I'm just filling in these dents. This, I can tell, was when I did the unicorn horn molds. My 6-inch unicorn horns. My 3-inch unicorn horn and the 6-inch unicorn horns. I made some bigger molds for it. Really? Dude. I'm gonna kick your ass bottom down, buddy. All right, down that way. Abort. So let's see here. Yeah, this piece will be pretty good for one hand. Nope. Don't make me swat you down on YouTube Live. Nope, don't do it. Stop. Go past there's somebody else in the house. There's two other, no, there's only one other people. That's why. She's upstairs not feeling well. All right. Doesn't matter. This is going to be at the bottom of the mold. Uh, so I'm going to basically just place this hand on here and then do a little outline of the hand. So let's see. And then I'm going to take some clay out and embed this. Oh, maybe let's do it the other way. Let's do it this way. Even this way. Oh, yeah. I still can. His hair stuck to my face. All right, let's try this again. Actually, you know what? I don't like the. I don't like the width. I'm not gonna. So I kind of would like to have this as a bulkier. I'm gonna use more silicone, even though silicone just went up 21% on me. But since I'm doing this as a silicone mold that I'm going to be doing a silicone casting in, I want this to have be a little beefier for the size of the hand. So I'm gonna size this now. First putting the hand in and then sizing it later. So I want this, if I do thin wall, it'll affect things. Just like if this is thinner, it's going to make the mold flex easier. And also, probably still not going to use my vacuum chamber on the silicone. But I don't think I am. Maybe I'll change my mind later. All right. I have a, can you see the giant box? Oh, you can kind of, back there. And the runny nose is starting. That was how it started for Jen. Oh, boy. Oh, I did get 4 of the new 2025 Baby Dragons cast while trying to test the mold out. Those guys are back here. So there's the guilty. And here's green, baby dragon, clingy, baby dragon. He just lays atop the guilty one. I have them up on my Facebook artist page, which I think is linked. Excuse me, there. All right, that works. This is going to be basically the size of a silicone block for one side. So it's going to be double this thickness, uh, the actual mold itself. So let's get this guy about in the middle. Try this all again. Oh well. And I'm just doing a quick outline. And we're going to take that out of there. Let's get this out of here. And where's a couple of loop tools? That's tiny. That's a tiny loop tool. Textures. Not round. I'm going to go with that one though. Let's get these scissors out of there. Oh, here's another loop tool. Sure, we'll use this one. So I'm gonna use the loop tool and take clay out of this. And we'll use all this to go back around the fingers. Once we have the hand kind of halfway sunk into the clay, we'll go back and backfill a little bit around the outsides. What time is it? I only got till 4 o'clock today, Eastern, because I got to go pick someone up. That, and there. Now let's try and test the hand in there. Wrong hand. Not horrible. Think I'm gonna remove a little bit on the back of the hand so I can get the back of the hand down there. Oh, the delay messes with me, and it sometimes takes me a moment to read a comment and then backtrack. My little dragon babies, is that what you're talking about? With the really cute? Thank you. They do pretty good for me at shows. That's why I started the Guilty Dragon. Does really good for me at shows. I did a second one, 2024. Where's he at? Is he in here? Huh, there's a gold version of him in here. This is the sleeping baby dragon to go with the lazy baby dragon. He's just sleeping, lounging on his back, taking a nap. For some reason, this dude's not as big of a hit as... Oh, here's a green version of him. As the guilty. Where's the other guilty? Here's a little guilty guy. He's usually sitting on the tray back there. But I think it's the eyes that really sell this guy. The little I got caught. But we'll see how the other one goes. This guy. Where's a blue one? Here's a red. Back that way. All right, let's try and put our hand back down. Okay. He's free floating a little too much, but that's all right. So that's not bad. So now I'm going to go back around here with clay and filling around all the fingers and make this all tight. Then when I do the silicone pour, flip this guy over, take this clay away, and pour side B. Let's start using this stuff to replace around the outsides here. Now when I do this to the head, that's where I still am not like super comfortable with doing this with monster clay. This stuff can go against monster clay. Like, I'm always afraid when I'm removing it. Like, I'll do that to make the mold edge. Let me do that and we'll smooth it out. But when I go to remove it, you know, I gotta clean it out. Sometimes I'll just use a toothbrush because the toothbrush isn't gonna mess up monster clay hard, but the plasticine will get brushed out. Anyway, those are my problems. So let's do this. I'm gonna go around, kind of place clay around the edges. When it's dried, cured, whatever, epoxy clay or polymer clay, I don't have the worry of nicking this. I'm sure there are people that are much more efficient than I that don't have that worry. All right, so there we go, there we go. So that finger lifted up a little bit. Again, the reason I'm kind of doing this mold to cast hands and it's a wide open hand is because this is going to be silicone and it's going to have wire inside. Whether it's probably won't be this wire because this, I don't know, maybe I will experiment with this wire because I have so much of it and I don't like it. But the wire is going to go inside the hand so that the fingers can be bent. My problem with the wire that I don't like here is with the silicone, bending the silicone. I don't think this has got enough strength to not go back, at least partially, to its original position, even with the silicone wanting to go back to home, you know, back to its original. But anyway, again, more of my problems. All right. Let's see, which way should we go? Let's go this way. I think I'm also going to take a piece of the armature wire. What did I just do with those two scrap cuts? Well, I got more back there. I'm gonna put a pour hole and a line to put a wire here so that when I mold these, I can also try and put an armature wire here so that the hand will also be, you know, on an existing armature when it comes out of the mold, I guess. All right. good. Let's get to here. Cold. Here, maybe we'll move this guy, but over almost to what we're doing over here. Ding. That way, that way. Oh, that way. There we go. All right. That piece way back there fell. So we gotta kind of shove it in the piece there. There. We'll just, excuse me. That's not bad. Now if this isn't done perfectly, there's a chance of having some silicone bleed through since I'm not using any kind of thickener on the silicone. But the stuff I'm using doesn't particularly flow too well. So, a little might make it through if I was the doing and talking at the same time stuff. Sometimes when I do a block like this, I don't have, like when I fill this in, there might be a gap, air gap here, so the silicone might pour through a tiny little crack and collect underneath. But when I flip it over, I'd be able to cut that little whoops. Generally. Oh. What time? I should set a Google alarm. Where's my phone? Okay, Google. Set an alarm for 4 p.m. today.
You got it. Your alarm's set for 4 p.m.
There. Now remember to shut up if I zone out. Alright. I got a little hole back here. Drop. Oops. Come here. Come here. And fill that in. And I can actually tell that there's still technically a little hole back there. Huh, the little piece that's stuck on here might be enough. A tiny little piece there. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, man. Alright. I think that worked. think after we do this, then maybe I'll monkey about with one of those eyes. I do want to use those molds and make another set of wings so that I can have 3 of the little one-eyed monsters. Might have to rename that. Uh, all right. That's not bad. Kind of could put more here because the clay kind of is at an angle this way. And I want this to be about halfway up the hand. I think technically if I wanted to, since I'm planning on this being the side that I would do the initial silicone brush and wire insertion. So having it a little closer to the top of the hand or fingers or whatever would be fine, but I don't know. This is an experiment for me. I know I've seen other folks do it. I think More uh, they do stop motion stuff if I remember correctly. And should have gone back to her and watched some of her videos again. Try and execute her concept. All right. Oop. I see there still looks like there's a tiny little gap back there. There. A little happier with that. That was a scratch. Seinfeld. It was a scratch. All right. We're going to have to build up material back here. Let's, I guess, finish that finger first. And then this is what's left from me pulling out material to put the hand in. We might not need to use any more, but I got a giant tub next to me, so if I do, I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. All right. All right. So I think I'm going to add some more material over against this finger. What do we got? 3? We got 1 hour, huh? There. All right. I like that a little better. So now we really, I'm not sure if you can see, See that gap there? So I need to lift the clay up to about right there, all the way down and on the tip. I probably got enough with this. Then we got to make another one of these to do the exact same thing again. That I might not do now, since it's really doing the same thing twice. So let's push that there. I might get more clay from the tub just to fill back here. It's a little shallower. Hello, Dave. They're huge, huge hands. I can't even reach in jars with these hands because they're so big. That's what you meant, right? All right. I think I still want to add a tiny bit there. I turned the heat up down here because when I got down here, it felt cold because yet again, we dropped into the low 20s today, even though it was warm 2 days ago. And since my natural gas heater down here just has numbers, you can't set a temperature. I have to play with that dial all winter long. Whew. There we go. Ooh, 3 people. Who's third? Anybody? Number 3? Number 3 want to say something? Number 3 could be gone already. All right, so that's not bad on that side. Not bad on this side. Maybe I do want to put a little bit more. 32 over there. I don't know what. This morning it was in the low 20s. It's 26 now according to the phone. Wherever Google gets their temperatures from in Northeast Ohio. All right, so what's left is here. Oh, the current viewers. Gotcha. Getcha. All right. I should do the face too, but then it's really just going to be the same thing I'm doing now, just around a face, which not that interesting. Or is it? My witty banner and putting clay in place. Witty banter. All right, so where's this one? Let's use this one to smooth out a bigger area. Oops. There. All right, I am gonna just get a piece to flatten out and add there. Nope, glitter. Much like cat hair, Glitter is also basically a mandatory thing in the house. All right, so I think we're good with this hand now. I'm gonna give it a little spin and see. You know, I think I am gonna say I'm not done. There. And I think this thumb on this side could use a little more. Like that. That's not bad. Still think I could add more there. Cause yeah, just cause. All right. I think maybe I am gonna not do the back here, the batwing eyeball. I might just do a sculpt, like a 1 hour-ish sculpt for that Fey head and hand idea I want to do. Try and do that with gray Sculpey medium. All right. At least in an hour, I should get everything roughed out, get the size worked out, maybe. All right. I think I do still want to add a tiny bit more. Technically, I could take clay from here and push it up against it, but I'm going to add material instead and feather this out into the bottom. All right, I'm a little happier with that. I'm gonna add clay here. Add clay there. And add clay there. I think that should give me some of the height I kind of am hoping for. Although the tip of the hand here, tip of the thumb I should say, looks a little low to me. Although if you look at my nail, it's really halfway. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to add a tiny bit. All right. All right. So that hand looks good. And then the way I do keys on smaller molds like this are, I could either use a back of paintbrush or a dowel rod piece I have around, or I usually use like one of these guys or this. And I go like that and give it a little wiggle, a twist. Usually kind of make sure I get the four corners and then we'll go all the way around. Now I am gonna have to, when I make the mold box, probably redo these. Because I'll smooth the clay to the edges, but I won't have to redo them all. The registration keys basically work to lock your mold in place. I rubber band stuff together. Larger molds, you might need to do a little bit more than a rubber band, but. And what did I say? I wanted to do something with that. There's the, I'll just use this armature. In case future Steve wants to do something else. I actually should cut a piece of wire now that I'm thinking about it and put it in place. Crap. Where's the spool of wire? I wonder what they're barking at. What's this? It's a leg. Where's my wire? Nope. I think that's the same stuff. You go here. Oh, gravity 1. I'm just gonna be lazy and use this. Even though I know I have another spool around here somewhere. It's mostly empty. I'm gonna guess that Sick Jen is not taking a nap. Let's see here. And I'm gonna cut it a little short. I mean a little long. And the reason I'm doing this method to madness is that then I'm going to be able to take a piece of wire in the future, put it in here. Now, the pour lines that are going to need to happen, because I am still going to be pouring silicone into here. One of these will be a pour, one of these will be an air. There. So basically, when I pour this, the silicone is going to have all these notches. These two I'll cut out afterwards. When I flip it over, these two grooves will still be there. And they'll basically look like registration marks, but they're going to create this on the B side pour. And on the A side pour, which is going to be the one on top of this, any of that making sense, I'll cut these out, and that'll give me the full hole for pouring or whatnot. But the way the person I saw doing it was they brushed silicone into the mold, let that sit for the tack time till it gets tacky. Then once it got tacky, they added the wire. And then after they laid their wire in, they then went back over all that wire with another brush on coat over top of the wire to lock the wire in place. Then they closed the mold. And if I remember right, they did the pour. Remember right. All right, so there we go, one hand. I got to do all of that a second time for this hand, and then all of that a third time for this head. This head's also going to be silicone, Where these two blue eyeballs are, they're going to get replaced with these two blue eyeballs are this size. So the silicone's going to it's going to allow me to insert these eyeballs, not this eyeball, but an eyeball, uh, maybe that eyeball, uh, into the silicone head. So anyway, he's going to be the beta test. Wish me luck. I was also thinking of doing this guy as a silicone head. Sleeping baby head. We'll see. I don't know where the hell this clamp came from. All right, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to set the hand aside. And I think we're going to try and do a, what do we got? 45-minute sculpt. So one of my harebrained ideas, let's see if I can find sculpting firm, gray, medium, somewhere. This really isn't great. I had a head somewhere over here that was Sculpey Gray that I was going to cannibalize. You two out of the way. There it is. We're just going to destroy that head. I don't know where the rest of my gray is. Maybe I'll just use... I have a whole box of, or a whole 3 of these containers of living doll. So this head will live another day to be cannibalized later. Dee-dum, dee-dum. Yeah. So let's throw this out here. Throw that out there. That out. Probably won't need that today. Might need this. So yeah, we're just going to use this since we got plenty of it. All right. Let's cut a chunk off. What am I doing? This is a couple of leaves that I've glued together, I think with fabric glue, to make like a little sleeping bag. I'm gonna make a head and a little, maybe probably a little pair of hands that are just gonna be like in here. This head's too big, and his body's really tiny. I don't know. So I need to make it a little smaller than that. We'll put this head here. Should I keep this top view? If you two are still out there, you can let me know if I keep that top view. Or if I should put it back to side view. Ooh, where did I put that piece of? There. Try and keep me centered on that. There we go. Let's cut a chunk off. Don't need much. It's going to be kind of a tiny little creation. Again, I don't know if this is going to be one of a kind or if it's something I'll decide to mold and cast, because I am reevaluating what the hell I'm doing in the future. All right, this is fairly new living doll, so I really don't need to do much work with it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to sculpt on top of something or not. All right, so let's see. Oh, I think I saw that something was supposed to be happening. I forgot what sound stage they were using for this lunar landing. I got to also get somebody from work, but mine's in. I got to leave a little after 4, so I was going to shut this down at 4. All right, so here's a tiny little head. That's probably a good size. Probably should make it a little smaller though, since I have a tendency of putting layers on top of stuff and making it bigger. So let's make this an egg shape. And let's get rid of whatever trash I have already embedded in it. I've been fighting a migraine since last Saturday. It kind of has gone away, but then it really slapped me in the face at Friday at work. I woke up Saturday, it wasn't horrible. Then Saturday night, it started to really mess with me again. So I haven't been doing a lot. All right, so no idea what kind of face I should do with this. I think I'm going to make the eyes closed, so I don't even know if I really need to insert eyes. Like, I'm not going to do cabs, I don't think. Not to mention, I think the only 8mm I have are quarter round, which I generally don't use for doll eyes. But now that I started yapping about it, oh hey, there's a dragon back here. Oh, these are 8mm half rounds. All right, fine. Maybe I will. Oh no, these aren't. Wait, are they? Yeah, those are half rounds. God, I have so many cabochons. And I found this red casting. After I fixed my wing issue on my mold. I have no idea why he was on the other desk. He needs to get cleaned. Yeah, my migraines are really weird. All right, so for this idea, I've been throwing around left and right and left. I'm actually gonna soak this with water, although now that it's covered in paint, I don't know what's gonna happen. But I would like to try and bend this foam clay. Oh, I see, it's starting to come off with water. The paint's falling apart. I'm gonna let this water sit here for a little bit. And I'd like to try and fold that back, like fold it down like that, which if this was new, ooh, paint coming everywhere. I'm looking for rubber bands, but I think I got rid of them all. I'd like to have this bent like this. Now, if I wet the foam clay, it's going to let me reshape it. And then if I bend it like this and then let the foam clay dry again, it'll, whoa! My balancing act fell apart at my side. It's all right. Let's see if I can find a rubber band. That dog, it's a menace. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use this rubber band. It's huge. Oh, you know, I could just use a piece of string and tie it. Yeah. All right, string. And I think I'm also getting Jen's gold. I think I saw images last night of the lander doing its flyover to get in position. And then I believe I crashed. Not it. I crashed. All right, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what? That's not open. Don't mind my looking up my nose. Gonna put a tack. Oh my God, a fabric glue right here. Then, no matter what, it will stay in place. That dog barks at the weirdest things. Ooh, it looks like neighborhoods losing power in places. You're welcome for that information. Looks like people are just walking on the sidewalk. Peeing in the dog. All right, so I put a little bit of fabric glue. I'm gonna fold that. I could also just use weight. That's what we're gonna do, I think. Put that there and stack something else on it. See how that experiment goes. Let's get back to this face. So, I'm really feeling like I need to sculpt on a form of some sort. I could just make a stupid armature. This wire sucks, so let's make a crappy armature. Right. This wire works for some stuff, but it's not good for art dolls. If you're going to use it as the armature in the art doll. Even what I'm doing now, it's probably not going to work great for it, but that's all right. I can't support the weight. All right, and now I got paint on my fingers from mucking about with the leaf. So, need to find some baby wipes. As I take you with a walk around my basement. Boy. Because I keep moving stuff, and sometimes I remember where I move stuff. There we go. The old. Sometimes I have alcohol wipes around. But when COVID happened, they started to make shitty ones. Can I say that? Can I curse on my channel? Oh, wait, my channel. And it's listed as not for kids, so I guess I can curse all I want. Um, um, they made the alcohol level, and I don't think they ever really went back up well to like 95% alcohol on the wipes. So basically, I want to make a head, and I want to make a shoulders, and I want to make a couple of hands, uh, like it's peeking out, uh, like the head will be peeking out, and the hands will be like here and here on either side. You'll see. Uh, let's poke this on. And the hell time do we got? 30 minutes? What can I do in 30 minutes? Dun, 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 dun. I'll stop talking. Jen, as you know, Dave, and some others, uh, works at a child enrichment center, aka she works in child care world. Um, two of the teachers last week were out with the flu, uh, and two of the babies in her group, she takes care of the infants. Two of the babies in her group were uh, out with a bug of some sort. She, however, doesn't have the flu. She has a really crappy cold, and she's had a runny nose, uh, totally clogged nose for like 3 days now. And today it seems to have shifted into her chest congestion instead of just runny nose. I suppose that's probably better than the flu. From what I'm hearing, the version of the flu that's kind of floating around is pretty harsh. I think they also have COVID in the building too, but it's not in their part of the building. So I am just adding some material for shoulders right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm moving quick. Uh, and this clay is so freaking soft. All right. So I was doing that so I could kind of hold on to this when I'm doing it, but I don't know if it's going to play nice like that. All right. Let's see what we do here. If I do put eyes in just to give me something to build eyelids over, I don't know if maybe I could go back to that other goblin look where the face is slightly fatter, wider, and squatter. And we'll try that. And then we still do want to go with a baby look. So, I don't know. I really feel like I got paint. I'm just throwing it out. Although, ugh. It's hard for me to judge when I'm starting to come down with something because at my 9 to 5, I don't know if I'm allergic to something at work. Well, obviously, I must be. Or as I got older, I'm just more sensitive to dust. But as soon as I get to my 9 to 5, I start getting sneezy. All right. I would, stupid idea with the wire. I would hold on to that wire, but this clay is so soft. I really think it would just screw with it. And it would just bend as I try to move stuff around. If I do this, anyway. Let's throw some material for a nose. And I'm going to put the nose up high. Normally your nose would probably be about here, below your eyes, and then your mouth would be about here. But since I smushed everything up, we're making this guy a little less standard human looking. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to build brow material here. Paint. Wipe that off on my pants. Why I don't have any clean pants anymore. They're all paint splattered or resin splattered. Alright, so his nose is going to be big in there. It's looking angry already. Let's see here. We're going to just use this and stab in a spot for a mouth. Let's try and put in some material for jawline and stuff. So the bad thing about me and my ADHD all over the place when I'm working on things is that if I do paint and then I try to do some sculpting afterwards, I do generally get paint on my fingers, which then when you're doing this kind of stuff, it shows up in the polymer clays or whatever else. All right, so a little clay there for a lower jawline. I think we'll square that off a little. And do the same thing for the upper. Appreciate you guys just hanging out and giving my channel some data to chew on. Or probably helps my placement show up for other people. I don't know. Alright. And these shoulders just keep getting knocked about, but I'm okay with that. Just trying to decide what I'm going to do with this mouth in a little bit. If I make it a happy mouth while he's sleeping, that would seem weird, wouldn't it? Happy sleepy mouth? I don't know. Alright, we're going to try and put some material around the eyes. And then we'll build up cheeks and probably add a tiny bit more to the nose eventually, but let's get the eyes going. We got 20 minutes. Were you watching last week, Dave, when I was working on the eyeball with wings stuff? Here, I'm not sure if anybody can see this. I don't even know. It's probably fake. Oh, I just saw your message, Demon's about their runny nose for weeks. Yeah, it's been a weird cold and flu season. We've had COVID in the house, I think, twice this winter, and I've managed to dodge it twice. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna put that like that at first. Let's roll that out a tiny bit more. Good Lord, this clay is insanely soft. I'm not a fan. All right, where's the other? There we are. You can go back over here. So, maybe me making this head this way and not overthinking it will make this one come together quick. Maybe I'll come back to it after I go pick up the kid. All right, so I kind of have this head together to where I can look at it with that leaf and see if it's going to be the right size. Maybe I'll do a couple of little fake hands here. Fake hands. So I'm just going to do that. I like that. I like that. Fake hand. Doll hand. I like that I say fake as opposed to a real hand. And because I'm insane, we're gonna put some little lines in for fingers. There, look. 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 Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do what I wanted to do, I don't think, with the leaf. Although maybe these wires will go down through the bottom. All right, so, I mean, this head is the size probably that I want. I'm gonna redo the mouth a little, redo the eyebrows. I'm gonna close the lids to make it look like he's asleep, I think. And I think I might make the mouth like in an O pattern, like a, I don't know. Don't screenshot that. Let's see what I have over here where I fabric glued this down. It worked pretty well. Might come up now that I took it away from what I was doing, but such is life. Let's see here. Yeah. So, well, you know what? This head might still also be a little big. I told you, I just keep making things too big. And then little hand. Uh, ugh, other little hand. Yeah, I think that head. I don't know. What do you think? Opinions? Let's see here. It says Dave and James are still. Dave, James, opinion? Head too big? Head good enough? Did I even have it in camera? I don't know what the hell camera angle I had. There we go. I have that camera so weirdly posed right now. And I think he's going to get big ears. I'm tempted to also do something like this as a silicone head because I'm insane. But I think this might work. I think that head size might be okay. Let's see. Yes. Well, it's a phase, so it could be anything. Yeah, I think he's a little too big or a little too large. But I imagine goblin babies, uh, very large heads, uh, hatching from goblin baby eggs. I have no idea. So I think this is kind of what I've been thinking in my head about for a long time now, trying to execute. Go down and down and back down and back down. Hmm. I think it's so. Let's see here. Let's straighten these wires so I can pull this head out. So this whole piece would be kind of cast like this. Yeah. Maybe I'll leave these arms in place right now too. And just use them for the future. And if he's not going to be a fairy fae and he's going to be a goblin-y fae, let's see here. Let me put some ears on this guy while I'm doing this. Let's see. Oh, I could probably end up doing that. This is actually two of the leaves from my mold. Oop, this already fell apart. That's all right. This is two leaves from the molds that I have. I have two other ones over here too. I think. So basically, you take that, glue it to that, and then I fold that back. But the back of this is flat and smooth because of the way I'm doing it. More experiments. Let's get back to these ears. What time do we got? 10 minutes. We're going to keep tweaking this little head here. Looks like that. It's not enough clay. Now it looks like that one's bigger. We're just going to keep going back and forth. Man, I might not come back and do more down here tonight. All right, I should this just shifted again. Gravity's winning over here, so let me save that. Put that way. Oh, get my paint palette out of there. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, I think that size here will be cute, especially since it's a baby. Let's get these wires out of the way. Let's smooth these ears in place. And then, that didn't work. I just had my clay fall down. All right. And let's do the same thing to this dude over on the other side. Let's tweak these ears around a tiny bit on the side of his head. Let's see, what else do we want to do here? Move these guys around a little bit. Let's find a ear hole maker. Ear hole maker. Ear hole maker. We can just attach these hands here. Maybe this guy will be a beta test. We could do a smiley baby. In his sleep, baby smile in their sleep, right? Eventually I'll be putting eyelids in there to make him look like he's asleep. What am I looking for? Not that. I'm looking for one of these, but not in those shapes. I want the more of a triangle shape. What's this one? There we go. And just take a little clay out of here. A little clay out of there. Do that over here. A little clay out of there. A little clay out of there. Uh-oh, big sniffle gonna happen soon. And let's redo this. And let's redo this. It's not horrible. I can push those ears out a little bit more if I want. It's really getting knocked around a lot with this clay being as soft as it is. Once you get used to a material and it's takes a moment to get used to how delicate you have to hit something again, you know. What do we got? 5 minutes. Maybe we'll try and put a little more clay over his eyeballs. So I'm gonna roll out a couple of raindrops. So we'll do a couple of balls about the same size. It's probably too big. Let's see what we got there. Those are actually pretty close. Take a tiny pinch away from that one. Oop, let's get that out of the trash. So I'm gonna push that piece of clay here for now. Help me build up his brow a little. We do want to eventually get rid of him looking angry. And we want to make him look a little more baby, so I'll probably pudgy up the cheeks a little later also. But this clay will let me push around the brow a little more so I can make him look a little cuter or angry. I'll probably go with cuter. Don't want an angry baby, so we're going to do something like that. Just a quick little boop, like that. Opens up the eyes. But there's going to be eyelids here anyhow, but it still opens the eyes up to make him look a little more innocent. And then we probably will add a little more material to his cheeks to try and make him look a little more baby-like. He's still got some baby fat going on. Let's see, let's try a 2.0 test fit, and then we're done. And we gotta go. Come on. So, there. Little goblin sleeping in a leaf. Sleeping bag. Sorry, I went to think and I raised my hand. So here, that's what we got to rough in. I'll probably finish this rough out. I'll probably bake it so I can continue with this beta test, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, I'll probably try and do the little cheeks a little bit more, do a tiny bit on the mouth, and we'll put some material in to create the eyelids. So that'll be next step. I'm gonna just wrap this around here, and then maybe I'll do a live next week where I will sculpt faces, kind of like I did this guy, inside of a pendant, just like that. Pin. And we'll do something in one of these. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thanks, James, again for finding me and seeing the announcement. Give me a like. We'll see if that helps me show up for other folks. I will probably tonight do a little bit more with this guy so I can try and finish my beta test. Ooh, I wonder if I can put that under here. Yes. Ooh. Stop. Here goes my alarm for 4 o'clock. Thanks, James. You have a good evening. Have a good coming work week. And thanks again, too, Dave. I will hopefully talk to you both a little bit later. All right. Thanks much. Have a great night. Pardon my runny nose.